Hello everybody. How is everybody doing? Today we're back to our daily Limbus company, Mirror Dungeon, and ID study, which is not going to be very daily for very long. As you recall, and I've been teasing this over and over again, we are going to be moving on to a more weekly format for Limbus company. But for now, it is still daily until, Thursday, where we're gonna get Walpurgis Night and the new overlay as well, and some other things as well. In any case, today is a recommendation again from one of you. If you have a team that you would like me to use, please send the message on the Google Forms, although that is going to change in the future. Don't worry about it. For now, I'm trying to, catch up to the list of things we have to do. We still have to finish today's book reading as well. Crime and Punishment is, kind of waiting for us. So for now, let's get on to the ID study, the team building, and then the Mirror Dungeon before we get to the book reading. So I welcome you all, whenever you're watching this, whoever you are, to sit down, have a good time, as we use a solo Yisang following our rules of the dungeon. Oh yes, nice little warm coffee. Let's get started. I don't know if there's anyone watching right now, as I don't have a tracker on my screen here. One day I will have, but for now, let's just review the ID as we can. Today we're going to be using Daddy's Home, Ring Pointless Student Yisang, a ID that caused a little bit of controversy back then for being too powerful. The director wanted to nerf him, and he has personally fed this unit to the Christmas goblins to be transformed into a gift on purpose. Right. What is the gimmick of this ID? Well, everything, really. No, but not really. This is a bleed unit, but it also can apply every single other ailment under the sun into an enemy, because it's a ring ID, so you can just do that. Its basic thing is that we gain sanity on targets with heal or with bleed, the same passive that is very good as well for any other character in this game, because it's 2 SP on hit against anyone with a type of negative effect, up to 6 per hit with no cap of how many times this... No, wait, there's passive activation 10% for that. Anyway, it's still 12 SP if the target has 3 types of negative effect. It's still pretty damn good. Let me just check. Limbus is working alright? Yes. Well, if you're in a maximum SP, we gain offense level up, and it can activate up to 4 times per turn. So that is up to 8 offense level. That is basically true clash power we gain and a bunch of extra damage. I don't remember the exact percentages for offense level damage up, but that's basically what this unit do. We're not going to be using our skill tree that often. The gimmick, the essence, the power of this ID comes from the skill tree Sanguine Pointillism, one that synergizes amazingly well with the Rusty Coin. Sanguine Pointillism is a 8 power, 8 coin power, single coin Pierce Lust skill that has a 40% chance to be reused, 20% more for every negative effect on the target, maximum 2 times per turn per skill, meaning this skill can hit 3 times. And it's very powerful. 8 coin power, of course, is going to be very powerful. So we hit a 16 in the first hit, and then we use the coin to add another 8. That is a 24, and then we use it again and hit it with a 32. It is incredibly powerful, and it gains coin power for every 3 bleed count on the target. Same thing for his other skills. All the escalation is based on bleed count and not bleed maximum, like potency. So we're looking over to bleed count rather than bleed potency. In any case, there is nothing much to do here. We're just gonna explain. It's a fairly straightforward unit. It only has the gimmick of the skill tree being incredibly overpowered, which we want to replace it as soon as possible. Even though Paint Over is a 11 roller, it has no escalation, and it does apply random count of any status with the skill. But he also does the same with Sanguine Pointillism and with his big skill tree. The defense, unfortunately, he has a block that gains power based on bleed on target to a maximum of 10, which is, not bad at all. It can roll up to 24, reduce 24 of damage, but it is a block skill, and we know how block skills usually go. They are kinda bad. Anyway, the sins that we have here is Lust, Gloom, Sloth with a Lust block. He is a bleed unit and benefits more from bleed count than bleed anything else. Let's see what egos we can equip on this boy that he can fuel naturally. Crow's Eye View requires Wrath. Surprisingly, we do not generate Wrath, so we can replace it if you had another option. For Tef, we have 4th Match Flame, which again requires Wrath, which we don't have. Wishing Cairn requires Sloth and Gloom, which we can generate. And this is one of my favorite Eagles just because it applies Paralysis. It is very good. It does have an AoE, which is very nice, especially because it's tier 4 now. It has an AoE, meaning we can start around with a preemptive barrage against our enemies. And the Corrosion is the Corrosion. It's a Corrosion, same attack weight, inflicts less paralyzed, but inflicts blunt. Bind, I mean. It technically rolls higher, but it has a negative coin, so you know what it is. Every time we use the skill, we gain 3 blunt protection and 3 sloth protection, which helps a little bit because I do believe he is fatal to blunt. And because of his initial eagle, Zion Eagle being Wishing Cairn, the sound effect is from my room, don't ignore it if you were listening. It is... Here, Endure to Sloth, but fatal against Gloom and Envy. Alright. Following up to He level, we have Fell Bullet, but Fell Bullet benefits more when we have an actual thing to kill. We don't have one today, so we're gonna go with Dimension Shredder. Dimension Shredder requiring Gluttony and Sloth. We do not have Gluttony, but we do have Sloth. So we're probably not going to activate this one until we get our hands into a Ego gift that generates Ego. It gives us charge count and inflicts more rupture count, so it's okay, it's fine. Fell Bullet could have been nice if we kill for poise, I suppose, but it requires a team to deal the most damage. It requires ally kill, and we literally do not have an ally, so we cannot use that ego to its maximum effectiveness. And finally, we only have one option for the wall. Actually, we have two. Great Tutorial Cosm did release. It requires Wrath, Gloom, Pride, and Envy, which we can only generate none of this. We don't have a single Wrath skill on our hands, so we can generate it. Sun Shower, on the other hand, gives us Sloth, necessitates Sloth, Gluttony, Gloom, and Pride. We have Gloom, we have Sloth, we just don't have Gluttony and Pride. It does give a nice SP heal, but most importantly give us Sloth power up for skill tree, and Sloth damage up for skill tree as well. Which is, I suppose it's very nice, very, very nice. Although we won't be using our skill tree that often. Great Tutorial Cosm on the other hand. If the target has Shatter Ward, inflict one more burning potency and sinking potency with units, base attack skills. Wherever you need to burn damage, gain a damage up next turn for a random attack type. Would be nice, but we are not a burn, neither a sinking unit. And this gains more coin power based on burn and sinking. So we're gonna go with Sun Shower, a very slothful Yisang today. Right, let's move on then to the team building part of this stream. We already studied the ID. There is really not much to talk about here. Skill 1 is kind of weak. You want to replace it immediately if possible. Skill 2 is where it's all at. And Skill 3 is decently powerful. It's very powerful as a matter of fact, but not as powerful as this one. Anyway, Faust, how can you help us? We're mainly a bleed unit. We do have a block that is very okay-ish. It's a block. So we could get this to inflict bleed count on enemies. It is okay. We don't have the envy for it. We are a Pierce unit as well. She Association Faust could actually help us this time around because we're going to be using our skill 2 a lot. That is extra Pierce damage. That is only 10% more damage on a very gimmicky thing, really. It's still only going to be activated after the third round. It's not very good, but we'll keep it on the back burner. Let's see what else we got here. Again, we're focusing on bleed. We need the most amount of bleed count that we can get for our power-ups. Lobotomy, Corp, Remnant, Faust is for counters, defense skills in general. And it requires an Envy Resonance. Envy Resonance or Lust Resonance? That is our Lust Resonance, yes. Final power plus 2 for its defense skills. It would make us decently tanky, but if you're really using our defense skills, I would just go for House of Spiders, Ring Apprentice. Heisho Pack Wrench requires a resonance that we can't activate. This is for burn, this is for defense level on a resonance, right? Yes. And our resonance for Gloom is on a skill 1. It is survivability. So we have inflict bleed on the enemy. We have 10% extra damage on the third round, or we have survivability on a skill 1 resonance. Another option would be Lobotomy or Regret, even though we don't generate Wrath at all. to get the extra clash power against enemies, but that is not the problem. The problem with the solo runs, as often, is survivability. So we are gonna go with Fixer Faust, Zue Faust to help us out. We could leave Base Dawn here, because Base Dawn has a 10% extra damage for Pierce, and we are pure Pierce. But let's check the other options first. This Dawn is all about more slash damage. This Dawn is a Berserker ability. Lower your health, the more damage you do, up to 20%. If you lose 60% of your health, you gain 20% for 10% damage. It's a nice 30% damage, I suppose. Only activates on a Lust Resonance. I would prefer some survivability, honestly. But I'll take the extra damage on low health, because we're going to be constantly on low health. We are a solo team with no evade, so this is for evasion, this is if you could generate aggro, this is for more damage on criticals, I believe, less damage against enemies that have tremor, charge, haste on burn, inflict defense level down if the target has rupture or sinking. So we're going to go with the Berserker ability. I never use Manager Dawn to give support, so let's go with that one. Again, noises you hear around is just on here, it's not on there. Base Ryoshu does offer the Hustle Up, which is 20% more damage and take also 20% extra damage. But we need bleed count, so I'm thinking we're gonna go Kurokumo Clan Wakashu here. It's an extra bleed potency, I suppose. Is there a better option? This is Shield on Poise. This is on a Lust Resonance. Inflict one bleed count as well, once per enemy per turn. Like, this is better, but it only activates on the third turn. For bullet, for charge, for haste, for critical, for self-tremor, for heal on kill, which is, I suppose it's pretty good, since we don't have guarantee of lithograph. So one more bleed count or heal on kill. Plus one bleed count as well. I need heal on kill, honestly. I'm gonna go with heal on kill. We don't have much in the way of easy to access healing supports right now, so let's go with that. Moving on to Merso, we do have the Ring of Student, which require the enemy to have 2 types of negative effects for defense level down. We don't have Wrath to use Worker B, even though we have Pierce attacks, which would have been nice, but it's okay. We have Encorp Grub Hammer, but that requires a Wrath Resonance that we, again, do not have. Charge, Burn, Tremor, or Rupture, I don't recall. This one is for Charge. This is incredible health healing if you have everyone for the same team. Evade, Bullet, and Manchalanda exclusive. Yep, we don't have much of a choice here, unless we want to take less damage. Again, survivability is our main issue with this solo run, so 10% less damage, I'll take that. Hong Lu, we don't have Gluttony to get the funny injection of power, so we're gonna take our Funny Boy that used 20% more damage. We do have Kurokumo Clan Wakashu, which is, if I remember enough, more bleed. One more bleed. It's not potency, it's potency, but it's not count. We need count. Bleed count is our crux here, because all of our good skills scale off of bleed count rather than bleed potency. More bleed potency is nice, because that's more damage that's outgoing when we do clashes, but I'd rather just deal more damage. Other options that we have, Scorpionoku, what do you do anyway? You are an ally that attacks an enemy that has bind, it deals 50% extra damage. I still prefer the Gambler. Nurse Father gives us effectual offensive down my zone bleed count next turn on one enemy with the fastest speed and focus encounters depart. I suppose that's nice. It's one bleed count that we can get on Resonance, but we are sacrificing the mythical 20% extra damage from Ting Tang Hangulu. You know what? We need a bleed count, which our escalation lies here. Moving on to Heathcliff. Heathcliff, you do have your most excellent Kurokumo Clan Wakashu, which provides more damage against enemies with full health or defense skills. What else do we have? More damage against enemies with sinking, more charge, tremor, more pierce damage the lower your health is, which would combo really well with Dawn. but it requires envy, which we do not naturally generate. I am tempted. I will take it, honestly. But we also have this, which is just 10% per piece damage flat. No funny business, just 10% extra damage. Here you go. Yeah, it's all yours. We could take Dawn and this guy together with Honglu, and that's a 40% extra damage instead of playing the Berserker mechanic. Because, again, ideally we don't want to be on low health, and if we can kill enemies, we're going to recover our health, so let's switch it up to pure damage, because we did a Pierce run before with, what's it called? Hook Office Honglu, and Hook Office Honglu was able to deal insane amounts of damage because of its Pierce damage. So we have 10, 10, 20, 40, with Rhodia that's another 20, that's 60% damage up, that doesn't get inflicted on our character, so we still can get the damage ups from other sources. Let's see what she can offer. Ishmael. We do have Kurkumo Clan Captain, which is, if you put as your count, with your skill and crime effects against enemies. This one is a no-brainer. Finally, Ishmael gets to be useful as a support character. Moving on, let's skip Rhodia, because we already know what Rhodia is going to be. She's going to be base Rhodia for the 20% extra damage. As for Sinclair, I'm tempted to go to Mariachi, because it's going to be stacking more damage. The other options we have is Burn, Evasion, I don't know what you do, Rupture, blunt damage when low SP, Bullet, more Burden Rupture, that's a Poised Shield, that is Survivability. Yeah, it's nice, but I'd rather do more. The extra little bit of damage here does, but it requires enemies with lower SP. But they're gonna be at 45 SP, so they're always at lower SP. If we kill them fast enough, we got our health back, so why not? Moving on to Otis. Otis, we can always take the very excellent and powerful military mindset, but that requires enemies to be below 0 SP. We're not exactly a sinking unit, although the enemies will lose their sanity as they fight us, because we inflict every single status ailment. It requires them to be specifically at below 0%. This one here is just a kill confirmation. I think we're gonna go with kill confirmation, honestly, because we are using Chef de Cuisine Ryoshu, and Chef de Cuisine Ryoshu gives us heal on kill. Finally, we have Gregor. Gregor Chef. What do you do again? The start of combat phase, the ally with the least HP heals 5 SP. Boost the remaining of healing of RB Chef to continue Ryoshu's passive hustle up by 5. Is the passive hustle up the one we're thinking about? No. No. So we have the option between G Corp Manager, which is 5 heal on Clash Win. We have 5 heal on turn start. Or we have start combat phase, that is 5 SP. That is just 5 SP. 5 SP or 5 HP? Hold on. That is 5 HP, yeah. Which we can fuel. So it's 5 HP regeneration per turn versus 5 HP regeneration per clash, which is something we're going to be doing all the time, but requires a resource that we can't generate. I'm gonna go with the good old reliable 5 HP per turn per clash is very good. So that is our team. Nothing too exceptional here. Mostly focused on damage from these goobers here. Let me just confirm something here. Yep. We're gonna need a lot of Eagle resources to fuel all of this. So let's get deployed. There is nothing else to do here. And after we're done with the Mirror Dungeon, we are going to read our book. Now, let's recall here our rules of the dungeon. This is the challenge that I've been subjecting myself for the past few streams now. Not for very long, because if we switch up the format of things, we're just going to be doing, you know, the dungeon normally, probably extreme dungeon. So, we are not going to use Grace of the Stars, so we get no starter buffs whatsoever. We also are not using Starlight whatsoever, because Starlight, bad. Not really, but bad for this challenge. To make things more interesting, we don't reroll packs at all, and we also do not use pack search, because that will require Starlight usage. We don't start with an ego gift at all, because that makes our ego pool completely random, so we never know what the game is going to give us in terms of ego gifts. we are not healing on shops, and we are not reviving on shops either. Since this is a solo run, we get 3 retries per battle. If we die, we get a retry again. If we die again, we get a retry. 3 tries. If all of them are gone, we are dead. I unfortunately didn't get a Eastern face over there, so I'm not gonna use the counter today, sorry. I could make it right now real quick, but it's gonna put a halt to the stream, so I'm not gonna do that. In any case, that is our rules of the dungeon. This is the challenge we subject ourselves to. So, here we go. Here we go, everything's set. No Grace of the Stars. No Starter Eagle gift. And no gift searching. We're entering this dungeon raw, baby, like a chicken. Anyway. I've been watching the stream from yesterday, the Monster Hunter one. It got choppy at a few moments there. I'm gonna try again later. But, you know how it is. It's, I tried to optimize the game, but I don't know if it's gonna work. Alright, we got Dregs of the Manor, which is suicidal. Nessie Workshops and Technology, which is, again, suicidal. I don't want to Isekai Isenk today, so we're gonna go for the Unloving. That's the only option we have. Unloving is a bit of a long pack because of its boss fight, but And we got the best goddamn abnormality. This is a blessed run already, I can tell. I can feel it. Right, Iseng, good luck in your combat scenario. Is the audio running okay? I didn't check that. Limbus audio, check. Good. There we go, we're up against the slaves. Oh yes, and only thing about the rules of the dungeon, we are allowed to use Dante powers due to their natural limitations already. We can only use 2 of them once per day, and you can't use repeats, so if necessary, we'll use Dante powers to get out of a tough spot, but ideally, we won't. Only really requires. We already got 2 skill 2s. That's gonna go pretty well, I think. No reuse. No reuse again. God damn it. First encounters tend to be the hardest ones, simply because we don't have enough slots to deal with the enemy. And the fact that we don't have an ego yet to carpet bomb the area and change our resistances. Thankfully, we are resistant to sloth, but not to blunt, which they have a lot of blunt attacks. And our health is already going down really quickly. We're gonna have to activate that. It's a good thing I took heal on kill from Ryoshu, because that's gonna be necessary. Anyone else? Okay. Can I fight now? Come on. I hate unfocused encounters. Don't kill him. He can still live. Right. Not yet. Alright, that is 1 heal. Not yet, because we didn't activate it. It activates this turn, and this guy is raring to go. We're gonna have to survive 2 attacks. Thankfully, he's depowered, so maybe this won't kill him. Ooh! Very close, Iseng there. And death. Truly, no death is more ideal. Thank you, Iseng. That's already 1. I said this run was already blessed, but it seems that I was wrong. Ow. The woes of the solo run, where you get beaten up by every single encounter. Passing grade. I'm looking forward to Walpurg. I keep thinking that today's Tuesday for some reason. I'm thinking like Walpurg is gonna be tomorrow. Walpurg is gonna be tomorrow. No, Walpurg is not going to be tomorrow. Actually, we're gonna lust. We need the heal on kill. We'll just update our counter, life counter here. There we go. Alright, let's see. Yisen, can you survive? I should have done blocks. Oh well. Alright, a stagger. A stagger is always nice. A stagger means the enemy can't hit us. That just means less damage. It's a stagger. Thank God we finish our attacks, but now we're gonna have to weather the storm of getting hit over and over and over and over again. Strike down. That is 6 attacks. And they are rolling heads. All of them are rolling heads. No. Okay. One more attack. Anyone else? Okay. We need to kill. We don't have enough to activate this. Not yet, anyway. We need 5 lust. No ego so far either. Thank you, random. Thank you, random slave that decided to roll really well. All right, one more try, and then we're gonna have to reset, which is funny because this is literally the first combat. We are weak to blunt, and they all use blunt, but we do have some lust resistance. Not going well. Not going well. I'll tell you that much. If they're using their pierce attacks, it would be a little bit better. Are we gonna get stagger first turn? No, not yet. Oh, we're gonna get stagger turn 2. Alright, here comes the stagger. It's better that we get staggered early on so that they, you know, don't get any more slots. Alright. See what awaits us. We still don't have enough lust to activate the he won't kill. This is the good. I've been watching someone play Kanto True, and while the Kanto True is considered one of the weakest Kantos, and yeah, it is, especially since we're reading Crime and Punishment on stream, we can see the many things that are missing. We're gonna get staggered again, and we're gonna die. I don't want to use Eagle right now, but this is our last chance before a reset, so. I don't want to use Era right now. It's literally the first encounter. I'd rather just reset, honestly. Yeah, kill him. Yeah, here we go. Let's just hurry it along and try again. Unfortunately, the slaves they don't appreciate much of the artistry that Yiseng brings to the team. So forfeit, restart. We just started. It's bad, but you know. Bad luck all around. We did get a nice gift at the beginning, which, you know, but ideally we want something to heal, and we don't have any healing starting off at all. On to the Beer Dungeon once again. Not gonna explain the rules again. We're just gonna retry from scratch. Nothing. Thank you. Give me a mirror dungeon with nothing. And hold the Grace of the Stars. Hold the Eagle gift too. And the gift searching. Give me a mirror dungeon with nothing. Alright, what do we got? Outcast, Cleaved, and Aggro and Hammer. Bad, okay. Alright, we got Lithograph. Assuming we can get our hands on it, which is, you know, a toss-up, literally. There we go. Alright, things are looking better now. Things are looking better. That is a heal on stagger. No longer need the heal on kill. Heal on stagger. Anyway, what was I talking? Kanto True serves a purpose that you have Kanto 1. Kanto 1 is the sad Kanto, introduction to the setting, how like everyone is evil, everyone's gonna rip your face off and wears a mask. And then you get the sad Gregor moment with Yuri and all that. It's tragic. And then you go to Kanto 2, which is more laid back. It's more happy. Because again, it feels like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign that went off the rails, which is pretty much it. I can physically see the dice rolls during certain scenes in Kanto 2. Now, Kanto 2 serves the purpose of you get to like the sinners. You get to see these little goofballs a little bit more, you know, relaxed instead of like constant doom and gloom. They're just being goofballs. They're just being goofy little guys. And you got to to endear yourself to them. You got to care about them because they're being goofs. And those are the goofs you're stuck with. So that's the purpose that Kanto 2 serves, even though it does a disservice to Rhodia as a character, which it literally does. If we're reading Crime and Punishment, like over half the characters are missing. Probably more, probably most of them are missing. And Sonia in the book was just like a girl that was heavily implied to be a prostitute, not the leader of a revolutionary communist coup on the city. That would be Lebezhetyanikov, whatever his name is. I think that was his name, which is the what's his name? Roommate with Luzhin, which is a loser. You're gonna get staggered! Get staggered! Oh, that is 2 turns of stagger. That's bad. Oh, they're gonna go for another level of stagger. That's death right there. We got a good gift, but we didn't get a good roll. Yeah, that's straight up death. Goodbye, Yuseng. Alright. Pop him like a grape. Wet cat obliterated. Anyway, that's the purpose of Kanto 2 nowadays. It's literally just you get to know the characters a little better. Because we play in the game for a long time. We look at Kanto 2 with a little bit of disdain because, yeah, it's Kanto 2, he's kind of weak. It's just kind of like goofy. There's no character resolution for Rhodia. She just decides, I want to be in the code a little more. And I get that. Problem is that it serves the purpose of endearing you to the characters. And understand that we are only getting those 12 characters. Because I do believe that a lot of people that come into Limbus Company from other gachas or other games of similar species will look at Yuri and think, oh, she's a character. She's gonna join Limbus Company, right? Cool. And then Yuri dies. And then it's pretty much drilled into you that, yeah, these are the 12 goofs you got. Dante and his 12 guys. Guys and gals. You're not getting any more new characters. Screw you. This is all you get, and you better be happy with it. Come on, Yuseng, survive. If you survive, you can start staggering people and killing them, and then getting health back. Alright? Hopefully, that is. You are slow and this guy's faster. Ah, come on! Come on, get one stagger in, buddy. We didn't get a single stagger in because we were deal pierce damage. And goodbye. Second try. We got us such a good gift. Come on, Yuseng. Just find the crack in the shell. Find the correct timeline. Okay. These guys are resist against Pierce. Alright, here comes the second turn where we get staggered. Come on, Yuseng. We can do better than this. We played before together. Okay, this is the turn. Not yet. That was a waste of... I shouldn't have used block. I forgot. In focus encounters sucks so much for solo characters, man. It's so annoying. And now we get staggered. They probably have enough attacks to mega stagger us. Unless he can get a stagger somehow from this guy, most likely, but I don't see it happening because of that skill 1. We are on our way for resetting the dungeon again. Almost, but not enough. And now we get staggered, and stagger repeatedly. Right, that's 7 attacks, 129 HP to go. All the multi-coins. The thing is, if he didn't manage to survive, I was gonna say, if he managed to survive, Lithograph can save us. This is the last attempt, I believe. My math skills are not the best. If that fails again, we have to reset the dungeon one more time. The rules are not in our favor today, huh? I got a very good gift here. I am going to use Europe. I don't want to lose this run in particular because Lithograph is very good for solo runs due to the stagger and heal. And we have the potential, the ideality to deal lots of damage because the extra pierce damage. We just need to get, find the crack in the shell so that we can enter. A passing grade. I don't want to play more Monster Hunter though. Starting off the game again, and I'm gonna make a new character with a more cool appearance. It was just a test stream anyway, to see how well it would run, and it was running okay-ish for the most part. I want to play it more because I love Monster Hunter. Oh, come on! You won't be able to survive the barrage. That means I'm gonna have to reset. God damn it. Me and my stupid rules, huh? And here comes Death because they're stagger plus and they have a shit ton of attacks. There goes the excellent Giggle gift that we have. Let's reset one more time then. Such is the rules that I have to abide because I decided to do so. Accept the results and return to stage select. Forfeit. Give up the rewards, which there are none. You good there? Alright. Alright, into the dungeon one more time. Same deal as before, no nothing. Hold the ego gifts, hold the grace of the stars, hold everything. We try, and we try hard. Flatboat Gamblers, Faith and Erosion, and Nest Workshop Technology. Faith and Erosion has Inquisitors in it. Flatboat Gamblers have the stabby, choppy guys. We can deal with stabs and slashes. Blunt is the problem. No good ego gifts here, although Wound Clarity is very nice. I don't have much of a choice here. See if we can get something good here. We got something bad. Unfortunate. Take your leave. Goodbye. Let's see if Hisen can raw dog this first fight then. What a funny Monday this has been. Alright, these guys have mostly Lust, Slash and Pierce, right? Nope, they have Blunt. Just my luck. Ah, and where were these staggers when we had the lithograph gift, huh? Blunt attacks. You're slow as balls now. I should have used Era in the other combat to try and survive, man. Oh well, too late to cry about it now. We wish. That's enough to stagger. I think we got staggered earlier, but that's still a barrage of attacks. They didn't want to apply bleed. And we still don't have any healing, so that's the third time we're resetting the dungeon, so I'd rather just waste Era right now because he doesn't have any egos that heal himself, I'm fairly sure. He has sanity heal, but no health heal. Yeah, no health heal. So we have to Era it up so that we can survive this. And if we fail, well, we failed. Come on, let's find that crack in that shell. Right. A little bit more Lust, we get Hero on kill, but we're still not quite there. Destroyed. Please don't kill this guy yet. Alright, do we have the hero kill now? We do. That is a little bit of health we can get. Just a little bit. 10 HP. That means the next fight's gonna be hellish for us. Again, we can't heal on the shop, so just because we get to the shop, there's no guarantee that we're gonna get out of there, you know, nice and dandy. Oh yeah, and Hero Q only works once per turn. That's just a bad passive, I guess. That is just a horrible passive now that I think of it. Should have gone with literally anything else. Alright. Go CPU. I'm going to ignore it. And here we are. In trouble. Let's see what we can do about this. It's these guys. Slash, slash, slash. We are fatal to gloom, and there is a guy with gloom attacks. We're gonna start with Wishing Cairn, because Wishing Cairn allows us to change our weaknesses a little bit. And nothing that matters. It's mostly an AoE, and we are gonna get staggered and die. This is a lost cause. This is the third retry of the dungeon we have, but we ain't no bitch. We try again. Not enough to stagger, and certainly not enough to protect us. Counter killed us, Insult Barrage is going to finish the job, and that is death. Let's give it one more time, but this time I'm gonna use another Dante power, and again, I know, kind of sad to use it at the beginning of the dungeon. Let's go with Superbia, and try to make something work here. Sunshell. Maybe it can help us? Who knows? If it does stagger them real good, we can get some heals on kills. But the problem is that I don't think it's going to do it. Oh, plenty of staggers, but we're still low health. We're critically low on health. One guy still has an attack. No kills, still on the verge of getting staggered. And the verge of killing once per turn. That's only 15 HP per turn. This is such a shit passive, man. Got us out of the stagger threshold, sure, but... Okay, we're still alive, we're still in the game. Still feel bad about using those two Dantes in the literal first floor, but it's the reality we have to survive. If you could delay their deaths by one more turn, I'm saying that would be great because you can get more health out of it. Perfect. That is one heal pack, one health pack we can get from them. We're gonna enter, at least the next combo, we're gonna enter a little bit more HP. 65. Too close to stagger and below half health. Oh boy, oh boy. And we have no backup Dantes now. See if the shop has anything that will save us, because I don't think it will. We have the combo wrist guards. These combo is nice, we have charge, but we don't. Take what we can get. This would have been good. And I'm gonna sell the stuff I just bought to buy this. I should have rerolled first. Oh well. Entering the next fight on a very bad situation. If we can get through this, maybe we can clutch second floor. Who knows? It's Ada and her muchachos. Slash blunt slash... They are all using affinities I'm weak to, the assholes. That is going to kill us. Straight up. Because they're paralyzed. There we go. Here comes our death. We don't have any cheating of death here. This is just you die. Oh well. Oh well. We'll give it another try. 1 out of 3. I really don't see how we can craft this shell. We already used our Durantes here. Yeah, straight to death. Second try. I'm starting to think this is going to be harder than I imagined, especially with all those rules dragging us down. But we try nonetheless. They've been paralyzed. And stagger to death combo. Yep, that is our final try. Let's try the dungeon from zero again. This is the fourth retry. Never before this has happened. I'm glad it's happening. It shows that the rules are working as intended, as a challenge, but it's more of a challenge of RNG than anything else, really. It's not really testing my skill in the game, rather, can you get lucky with the enemy placement? Because this is not particularly tanky ID. He does have a block, but blocks are very bad. As we are all already well aware, I've talked about this many times in previous streams, blocks are just bad unless your name has Y in it. Right, crushed, forgotten, or automated factory. Meets bugs here, and the boss is gonna be the dude with many bugs. And this is Hurtley. Hurtley is actually easier. And the Forgotten is bugs. It has an ego gift generating gift here, which would be nice. And this, but the final boss is very annoying for this, for a solo character that is very squishy. Let's go automated factory and see if we can get lucky. And we got Paper and Cranes. If we can get it, that would be excellent. Come on. Very good. That is good. That is good. Now we have ego resources. And the second one is Bleed Gift. A very good Bleed Gift for us. Assuming we can get our hands on it. Which we can. Nice. Alright, single coin deals more damage now. Nice. Nice. We now have to fight 2 fights in a row. And there's no outie. Nothing we can do to avoid getting hit by it. Ah, it's slaves again. Oh, joy of joys. They're all using their fucking blunt attacks again. Yiseng, don't lose a clash to this unit, please. You used to be such a Fyodor unit. Again, I'm lading myself with a lot of rules here, so it would be doing well if he had other gifts. You know how it is. Stagger. Very good. Stagger means there's one less guy to hit us. Stagger me. That is 6 attacks. Can we survive a barrage of 6 attacks? Again, we don't have any healing. Right, here we go. We're gonna get staggered and killed again. This is not going well, I'll admit. This is not going well. RNG is not being very lenient to us. And because we used Durante before, we don't have even the choice of Durante now. So it's raw dog time. And stagger! Let's save the trouble and just restart right now. Because, yeah. Ooh. Not going too well today, is it? Hello, Acidic Trauma, how you doing? It's not going too well, you didn't miss anything. It's just, you know, a solo run that is not going too well, especially with all the rules I put myself under. I should just do a normal run at this point, because this is the last 3 days of daily Mirror Dungeons. You know what? If I can't find a way to get through this fight and to the dungeon following my rules, I'm just gonna do a normal run and call it a day, because it's not going well. It's going quite poorly, you could say. Because I do put a lot of rules just to make this a little more challenging, but again, we're almost just the last 3 days of daily Limbus, so I might just call it here. No, you know, just do a normal run without putting yourself through this. Just look at this. What is there to say? Not doing great? What happened? Now, sure, I survived the Staggerton here. I have no way to heal at all. This thing does not have healing eagles that I can use. So, you know what? Yeah, no. No rules of the dungeon today. No rules of the dungeon. No rules of the dungeon for the next few days. I'm going to change the description. This right here, ignore it. We're ignoring it. Because, you know, it's not that fun. I'll be honest, it did add some decent challenge back then, and if I'm running a full team, it's still more of a challenge. But right now, it's not that good. Hello, Moises, how are you? It's been a while. Yeah, again, you didn't miss anything. You just missed me. You just missed Yisung flopping like a fish trying to get through Mirror Dungeon. Right, since we're no longer following the rules of the dungeon here, I'm just gonna get the... what do I get here? Well, the problem is that we're literally just not healing, which is the main problem. So I can go without days. I just need healing. That's the problem. If I can get healing, I'm fine. What's going on over there? Let's get the wound cleared. I'll be honest, I'm not doing too great today. I'm feeling a little wandering, a little, you know, not too great. I remember that the first dungeons that we did, we also got Eagle Gift, so I don't mind using them. Usually got this combo here for the healing. Yeah, let's go with our basic combo. It was fun while it lasted, you know? Rules of the Dungeon were fun while it lasted. I'm not gonna go Dragons of the Manor because fuck that. This has crabs. I don't want to go crabs. That broke gamblers is a little annoying, but it's better than the alternative. Here we go. We already used True Durante powers as well, so whatever. It's whatever. It's whatever. I'm a little tired today as well. This week is not starting out great for no one, is it? 5 HP, baby. Here comes death. Let's skip that. Let's skip the death animation. Let's just try again. Well, I was gonna ask again, but I already got the answer. This Monday has been a weird Monday. I'll be entirely honest with all of you, because I kept thinking it was Tuesday. I woke up too early today for some reason, and it's just weird, honestly. Oh yeah, another thing. We're gonna have tabletop stream this Wednesday because we didn't have it this Sunday because our players were busy. And so we decided to reschedule for the middle of the week. So Wednesday is gonna have a double stream. -4 power. Stagger. Kill. But here comes the stagger regardless. Double the stagger. Double the death. One more retry. My week has been fine. I got an EX Eagle Gift and I got the BA pack. Nice. I kind of want to just play Monster Hunter today. But no. I said I was gonna do a solo Yiseng. Someone has specifically requested, and I am no bitch. I am going to do a solo Yiseng run today, even if it costs me my sanity. Even if I had to remove the rules of the dungeon, I will do it.
점 찍었네.
I ain't backed away from a challenge in Limbus yet, and I ain't gonna do it now. Come on! Yisang!
합격점.
Not fast. Not fast enough. We're gonna get staggered before we can do anything. Damnation!
점 찍었네.
But you're gonna just go home? I actually don't want to be here. My own friend wants to just be alone. My brother and my other friends are playing a game right now. Oh, you're somewhere. I see.
작품을 만들다 죽을 수 있다니. 그야말로 이상적.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. If you're not happy being in one place, you should just, you know, say, I want to go. I don't want to be here. That's perfectly fine. Here comes the counter. These guys have the affinities that we're weak to. Fun fact, the only thing that still gets extra damage when an enemy is staggered, or an ally in this case, is sin affinities. And these guys have the sin affinities that we are weak to.
작품을 만들다 죽을 수 있다니. 그야말로 이상적.
True evades, lots of counters.
점 찍었네.
Ooh. Ah. Well, for once, I am glad that you're sitting here watching this. It means that we're talking, we're gonna have a fun time. Well, I'm not having a fun time exactly with this, but still, I'm glad that you're here. Come on, Yisang, find the crack in the shell. Good heal, good heal. Same, it's all gone. Yep, nope, he's not gonna survive this. These guys have too many multi-hit attacks. It's really bad when you get staggered here. Let's retry the dungeon. Go to forfeit. We need something to prevent his death. Rewards. Again, I'm gonna abstain from rules of the dungeon, even though I said that at the beginning of the stream. It's unfortunately not fun anymore, especially when it wasn't that fun to begin with. It just it had some hype moments, but usually the hype moments get washed down with a lot of like, this is boring, this is annoying. So let's just take some basic stuff and call it a day. Do our stream. We are practically just buying time for when we get to Thursday. Thursday is the day. Thursday is the hour, because Thursday is when we get Walpurgis. That's right, it's coming, baby, and we are going to be streaming our rows here. Let's see. This is nice. And where is the Manor music box? There we go. I feel like I'm trying to justify myself here, but I kind of feel like I have to, just to, you know, put in perspective that I've been doing this challenge for a while now, and it's been a toss-up of fun and bad, mostly bad, and I'm kind of tired of it. This is the sentiment that is also being, you know, prevailing in the whole let's do this challenge runs and mirror dungeons. When I said I was going to do daily mirror dungeons with ID studies, I wanted to do a little educational thing where we look over at the ID, see how it works, discuss some mechanics in the game, and I think I have succeeded in that regard. The only thing I want it to... The only problem is that we ran out of IDs very early on, to the point I started asking for you, my dear audience, for suggestions on things to run, and I would run a quick overview of that unit or the team that is going to be used to keep up with the idea of an ID study and all that. However, after 100 days of this, I do believe it has become a little stale. And since I don't want to pigeonhole myself exclusively on Limbus content, well, it's fine to be exclusive Limbus content, it's just that we don't have enough content to keep the gears flowing. Sure, I could just sit here and do a mirror dungeon every day, and just call it, okay, mirror dungeon every day, ha 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 ha, and that would be fine, I guess. It would also be very boring. And so I decided to, you know, call it and say, okay, we're gonna do Library of Ruina, we're gonna do Lobotomy Corporation next, and we're gonna do other games, as well as the tabletop that I already host. So, again, until this Wednesday, we're still going to be doing our daily Limbus, no longer following the rules of the dungeon. Last 3 days I just want to have fun, and follow the things you guys have sent to me, which is it's kind of what I'm doing right now. So no more rules of the dungeon. This is just the final 3 mirror dungeons before we switch Limbus Company to a weekly thing. And then we're gonna do Lobotomy Corp, Library of Ruina, Monster Hunter, Space Marine 1, I can't run through. What else? Metal Gear Rising Revenge is something I also want to stream. And some other stuff as well. So we're gonna do a little bit more of a riot here on the stream, but worry not. Limbus Company is going to be a permanent mainstay of the channel. Just max threat speed, the Blade Lineage Eagle. Nice, very nice. Hello, Chris Mist. Finished moving into a new room. Also, any tips for doing a Project Moon Team D&D session? Tips for D&D session. Work a lot with bureaucracy. What I mean is, if the characters do something that pisses off a faction, you gotta understand that, much like in our world, every taboo, every rule, every contract that is broken is tempered by the subtle threat of violence. It's like, let's say, much like, and what I mean about using bureaucracy is the following. Much like Nintendo doesn't come personally to beat you over the head by making a Mario fan game, the same happens in the city. The Big Brother isn't gonna come after a random bunch of fixers or people that have committed a minor offense. They sent their subordinates to do that. And all things in the city are work around the whole fuck around, find out dynamics, right? So if you break a contract and a rule, the threat of violence that something is going to happen to you is a little bit more real. But unlike our real world where we have those threats of violence, they're implicit, and since we're not, you know, super creatures that can shrug off a bullet or move as fast as a bullet train or anything like that, in the city you can actually break those rules and survive and not be arrested, assuming you are powerful enough or you have someone looking over for you, a group or a faction. Because at some point, for whatever group they decide to piss off, it's not going to be worth the investment of manpower and money to right a wrong that the players or someone has made. For example, I piss off a wing, and I'm a very powerful fixer. And then, because I broke contract with them, they come, hey, if you don't pay us for breaking this contract, we're gonna, send some grade 1 fixers after you. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'm not gonna pay. They send the 4 grade 1 fixers against me. The grade 1 fixers eat shit because I'm a very powerful fixer myself. But the wing is still pissed off at me, so they're gonna start sending their own guys. And I make them eat shit, but it's getting harder and harder. So at some point I might want to try and settle this misunderstanding with money rather than fighting, because they're not going to stop, or it's going to take too long for them to consider that this is no longer worth the manpower or the money invested to try and, right this wrong. So this is what I say. If you're going to play Project Moon, D&D, if you're not using the same system I do, because I already do that, work a lot with bureaucracy, because the world of Project Moon is very similar to our own. Just take in consideration, like, what would happen if the police wasn't, out there to save the public interest, but just a private one. And there are many mercenaries that can do that for you as well. It works exactly like our real world. Just, If the players break contract or piss off a faction, how far is this faction willing to go to punish them? After a lot of MD solos that I kept doing for fun, I've learned a lot of game mechanics. That is good. That is training. Perfection and excellence is just a matter of repetition, my friend. Alright. That's all you should focus on D&D, because combat comes second place to the story, to the plot. Why are the players doing the things they're doing? Why is it important that they do the things they do? And what is the motivation for the players to be doing the thing? Should I work on characters and world building in unison, or which should be characters? World building, you should always take from the school of thought that world building is something that exists on the background. And I say this because you don't want to explain every little detail about the world, or else it becomes annoying. That is the essence of, for example, of H.P. Lovecraft storytelling. He never shows the big bad. He talks about it, he alludes to it, you almost see it, but you never show it. And so far, Limbus Company has been doing an excellent job. Limbus Company, Project Moon in general, has been doing an excellent job of that. We don't know a lot of things about the city and their inner workings. We know some of it, we have been exposed to a couple of those, and the ones that were actually explained to us were, you know, essential for the plot, because your characters should feel like they exist in the world they're living in. A character that exists in the world that you have to explain every single thing about them, or the company, or whatever, feels like you don't belong here. I don't need to explain this. You live in this world, buddy. That is to say, you shouldn't completely forget about world building, that they still live in that world, so keep your notes secret. Write it down, your world building that you want to do for your campaign, but never reveal the full scope of the thing. Because when you're doing the world building, you're gonna have to write down the rules, the hierarchy, all the things that make the world alive, make the world be the thing it is. Over-explain, but for the players, for the story, you shouldn't explain all those things. You just say, oh, it's from the, you know, it's from X-Wing, it's from X-Corp. You know what X-Corp is, right? I don't have to explain X-Corp to you. You know what it is. And even if the players become confused or don't know what it is, just leave it like that, because not even in our own real world do we know and understand everything that is working. Sometimes some government agency will come to your doorstep and say, hey, you owe us money. For what? For this, this, and X. But didn't you know about this law? Didn't you know about us? How could you? You live in this world. How do you not know that? Same thing in the Project Moon. Same thing, not just with government agencies, but like celebrities as well. I, for example, am someone that do not follow celebrities at all, because I don't care. I have better things to do, like playing Limbus Company. And when something worms their way into my newsfeed about Glorposhito, the new singer for the Shoop Slurps, has done X thing, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I live in this world, but not in that reality where these people exist. Oh, Shion Hiki, it's been a while. Hello there. Limbus is like a device to explore the dynamic of the city. That is correct. I always heard that he's saying it was extremely strong, but now he isn't as strong as he used to be from what I've heard from the community. He got power cracked. He's still strong. It's just that he's more of a glass cannon. You know why he's strong? Because of this, Sanguine Pointillism. It has a chance to reuse the coin on hit up to 2 times. This goes 8 plus 8, 16, and then another 8 on top, that is a 24. And then it becomes a 32 on hit. Not on clash, on hit. He is a very strong character. It's just that I was having a bad time finding the way forward. Following my rules of the dungeon, at least. If I'm playing normally like I'm playing right now with Ego Gifts and Grace of the Stars, it's a lot easier. See what I mean? 35. And back in the day, he also could activate every single Ego Gift, because he could inflict every single status ailment. They removed that, of course, because that would be just silly levels of broken, but you get the idea now. Right now, he's just an ID that does bleed. But back then, he would be considered to be every keyword. Meaning you could get any Ego Gift that give extra damage based on if the skill applies bleed, burn, tremor, etc., and use it on him. He's still very strong, mind you. A passing grade. Anyway, as I was saying, Kreese missed to finish off the thing. Always focus on your characters because the players are going to remember the characters and the shenanigans they got around with those characters rather than something crazy in the world or something like that. Like talking about like if you make a super deep lore about a wing of the city that has so many cool mechanics and such, they're not gonna remember it that much. They're gonna remember the characters, they're gonna remember the people, they're gonna remember the things that they did, but not the, you know, the big thing, the big faction or whatever. I had a thought that the ring pointless passive was Yiseng's nerf. Sort of. Can't use any of these. Can't use that. Can't use that. Let's go with Devastating. Have there any IDs for Yiseng? Well, don't you have the best ID for Yiseng? You know what I'm talking about. Should I know about sweepers? You should probably just... That is part of the world building. If you don't explain to the characters, even if they live in the city and they don't know what the sweepers are, chances are they are a very sheltered nest kid. Because everybody knows what the sweepers are, because they are a daily occurrence in the back streets, and they are very scary. We're weak to gloom, and these guys are all gloom. Fortunately, we can just blast them out of existence and change our damage resistances. Because the Night in the Back Streets is more than just the sweepers are coming around, it's also a moment kind of like The Purge, for the movie The Purge, where anything is allowed, the taboos are no longer in place. There is some rules that they had set up, but there's going to be no recording of the back streets during that time. You can do whatever you want, but the sweepers are out there too, so keep that in mind. So make sure they understand that every day the sweepers exist. And if you're caught, your ass is caught on the outside without a way to hide away or someone to safeguard you for the night, your ass is dead unless you're extremely powerful or have the ability to cheat death like Dante. Let's see... Blunt, 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 blunt. All blunt, baby. All blunt gloom. Just make sure they understand that. If they understand that, or the rest, they can figure out as they go. Because every backstreet is different, every syndicate that rules over a part of the backstreet is different. Most of the times, you're not going to be dealing with the fingers directly. That is something that, again, because we focus on the Limbus company, much like Warhammer 40k and some other medias, tend to focus on the exceptional of the setting. For Warhammer is the constant large-scale battles with these heroic, gigantic figures that can vaporize you with a thought. Limbus Company, Library of Ruina, and Lobotomy Corporation, they tend to focus on characters that are able to fight. Do we want to do this? We are solo with no evade. Just give me the normal one. Let's not get trouble. Let's not get in trouble here, brother. Right. They tend to focus on the exceptional part of the setting, the fighters, the super characters. They are out there and they're kicking ass. When in the tabletop, you're going to probably try to focus a little bit more on the normal guys. I think I just fell into a trap. I saw the envy and gloom fragility, and it's going to be dead rabbits. Motherfucker, I knew it. This guy's filtered me last time, but we have ego now. I don't think that was enough, though. Anyhow, where was I? Yeah. So they tend to focus on the extreme sides of things. Much like news, only cover the exceptional parts of something that has happened and that is not the norm. The same goes for Limbus, Library, Lobotomy, Warhammer, and whatever else have you. The things that you see here are the exception, the cool guys doing cool things. If you're going to the back streets and you're just a normal human, just walking around doing your business as trying to survive your 9 to 5, and you encounter a syndicate member, they're probably going to try to rob you, of course, but you're not likely to encounter a member of the Fingers, because the Fingers are the big boy cartels. They are the dangerous top tier guys. If you encounter one, you're very unlucky. It's even more if they attack your attention for whatever reason. Right, we're recovered. Lots of rupture, and I don't like that. Because imagine, if you're walking the streets and you meet a high member of the cartel and their bodyguards and their thugs, that is not something you see every day, because these factions, these Fingers, they have other syndicates doing the work for them. It's all the chain of command, the hierarchy, the bureaucracy, baby. So if I'm a member of the Ring and I have to deal with some small fry guys, I'm not going to go there myself. Why would I do that? I can just tell one of the subsidiary syndicates that work for the Ring to go there and do it for me. So the Ring has a subsidiary with the, I don't know, the Crazy Painters, which are guys that use machetes as pencils or something. And I have to deal with the problem because the Ring Master told me to do this, but I don't want to do this myself, so I tell, hey, Crazy Painters, you work for the Ring, go do this thing, I don't care. You work for us, so I'm telling you to go do this. And so they have no choice but to go do that. Interacting with the thumb one day by passing is by is more possible than just seeing the cartel. Well, sort of like that. It's the mafia, so they might just come directly to deal with things. But then again, it's the chain of command. Just because you are in thumb territory does not mean you are directly under the thumb protection. You are under the protection from a syndicate that works for the thumb. Example, one of the biggest ones that even mentioned in the art book for Library of Ruina is the Kurokumo clan. They even said, like, the Kurokumo clan is like, they're kind of a big shot. Oh no, this is bad. This is really bad. You can see why this is really bad. Let's try our best here. Our best isn't gonna cut it. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, the Kurokumo clan is a subsidiary of the Thumb. They get protection money because they're running a protection racket, you know? If the Thumb just comes to collect money, if they don't give the money to the Thumb, they themselves get screwed, so it's in their best interest to keep you, the guy that runs a coffee shop, or the guy, the garbage man that works there, healthy and not dead by the hands of other syndicates, because if you're dead or some other syndicate is charging you money, you can't give us the money that we need to give to the Thumb to ensure that our operation continues to operate. So it's all the chain of command. So my advice, if depending on the level you're gonna do your campaign, try to keep it grounded on the lower levels. Don't have them fight anyone from the Rings unless they go into the higher levels, because they are supposed to be the biggest, baddest guys of the back streets. They're the one that rule over all the other crazy syndicates there are. And another thing, syndicates are not just simply criminal organizations. They are just a group of people that do not operate within the HANA Association guidelines for fixers. There can be a syndicate of guys that make shoes. There can be a syndicate of guys that make weapons. There can be a syndicate of guys that are plumbers, but they don't, work with the HANA Association. They don't have a license. They're not officials. You know what I mean? Syndicates are not just guys with swords and I want to kill you because you have money, or I want to look cool and punk rock. It's just that there might be a lot of them because violence is very simple in the city. I want something, you have it, I'm gonna kill you for it. But even that gets a little muddled up because if the guy is desperate enough to do, I want to kill you just because, you have to consider, all right, I'm gonna kill this guy because he has some money and I want it. Who's protecting that guy? If I mess with this guy, will someone come after me? I need to do this maybe stealthily or maybe hidden away. That is probably what I should do. It's all a bunch of politicking. There's a lot of space for politicking here, and at least on the Discord that I am for tabletop, they tend to focus only on the combat part because it's the most developed part of the entire setting. We see, oh my, we see the combat in almost all aspects of the game, LobCorp, Ruina, and Limbus Company, but there are so many other interesting things in the setting that you can go for. Who are you? Oh, I know who we are. And just like you say, Chris Mist, you're most likely to see the local drug dealer and his 3 goons, and you're to see the evil mafia coming to town, just dunking on everyone. And if you do, you are probably a very unlucky individual or in the wrong place at the wrong time. In my humblest of opinions, I do believe it makes more sense to do a tell, don't show approach, much like Lovecraft, where you talk about these guys, they're badasses, they are powerful, they're strong, very strong, but you don't see them that often, because they're busy with something else more important than dealing with your group of murder hobos. Anyway, now that we got some ego gifts for starting and no longer follow the rules of the dungeon, soloing becomes so much easier. Like, it always makes me wonder, why the fuck was I subjecting myself to that? And I remember, oh yeah, I wanted to try and spice it up the daily dungeon. And did it work? I don't know, you tell me. You guys are the audience. I'm here for your entertainment. And I hope I am entertaining, at least in some regard. I hope to become even more entertaining once the new overlay comes in and we do more games as well. We're not just gonna stuck on Limbus Company, we're gonna do other stuff. But of course, Limbus is the main fixture of the channel, so whenever there's an event, a canto, or anything else, we're gonna pop into that mighty quick. If you wanna see more about Limbus Company or Project Moon tabletop, I invite you, Christmas, to tune in to the VODs of the previous sessions I did on the tabletop, and for the session this Wednesday, because we're gonna have a session this Wednesday. New overlay, yes, on Thursday, just in time for the Walpurgis pulse. We're gonna enter the Walpurgis with a beautiful new overlay that I made, kind of from scratch. I am very proud of it, and I hope it will be pleasing to the eyes as well. Maybe one day when I have enough money in my pocket, I will consider doing VTubing. I literally just gonna take my face and the outfit and just VTuber it. But maybe, maybe in a day. It requires money that I do not have, but maybe one day. Unfortunately, on the new overlay, I am going to have to sacrifice the shitpost window down here, but I think it's gonna be for the best. Might have to pay to get Salvador Gregor. I love his art and Salvador in general. It is good, though I do think they chickened out not giving him that, make him rock that mustache. He should have that mustache, man. That mustache is essential, and the fact they didn't give it to him is a crime. I'm sure there were gonna be a mod for it though. It's not exactly difficult. People have already been modding other appearances on other characters, so... Right, where was I? Limbus Company, right? Ah, Sanguine Pointless. There you go. Mustache in Appetite 5, trust me, this secret evil ego. I believe you. I 100% believe this could happen. If they ever release Appetite 5, I believe they would do it. Maybe someday. but
완성되었나?
certain reveals have changed my idea of Upside 5 is gonna happen to most unlikely. Because, consider with me, think with me for a second. Limbus Company is only a gacha game, in the words of our own lovely director, to make money. They wanted money to fund the anime, to pay for the employees, to pay for the hang hang pang pang, to get the new office building, you know, to make the game. That's the only reason the game is a gacha. And because the director saw Fate Grand Order be successful and he wanted to be successful too. Can't blame me in that regard. Don't know much about Fate Grand Order to talk much about it. But anyway, don't stagger me, motherfucker. Anyway. It is more profitable for Project Moon to release an Eagle or another character of a particular faction to... let me just do the thing. No resources. Yes. No, it's much more profitable for them to release a new character or an Eagle. And death. We fucked up. He lost the clash and got destroyed. It's more profitable for Project Moon to release a new character or an Eagle than an Uptime 5 so that they can make people roll in the gacha again. For example, while Doll Sinclair is not weak at all, even though previous streams of mine made me want to remove my non-existent hair from my head, he getting a power-up in the form of Salvador and Yuna is a cool move because it lets them make a new character, or at least bring one from Library of Ruina, and these characters will power up this ID that already exists. So if you want to power up this ID and you like him, you are going to have to roll for Walpurgis Knife. So they get more money out of it. Same thing with the Blade Lineage Eagle. You like Blade Lineage Mentor, and you like Blade Lineage in general, would you like them to become strong? Then you have to get this Eagle. Either buy it, either roll for it, or either shard it. In any way, Project Moon wins either by your continue to play time, if you want to shard, or wear your money if you buy it outright, or by you rolling on the gacha, because they want the money to continue making the game. And I understand this approach, I see it. Although there is a certain appeal as well for Uptime 5, so they can do both, because Uptime 5 is probably going to take a lot of resources, which requires a lot of playtime or a lot of money. Well, not a lot really, but some money that you can throw down and, you know, you throw down the money and you get what you want. Like you buy the tread, you buy whatever else you need, and that's it. That's all you need. You get the Uptime 5. So I can see both going both ways. Uptime 5s and additional characters and additional Eagles. When Limbus Company finally reaches its end, all the ADs and Eagles in the dispense section finally be available for shard. I wouldn't put it past them, honestly. If they manage to reach like an ending of Limbus Company in 10 years, or no, actually 7 years, it's already been 3. I could see them doing like something like, okay, there's no more new content for Limbus Company. Thank you for your support, everyone. Game is now free. You can play it offline. I could see our director doing that because it takes a lot of money to pay for servers. And so if there's not going to be any more updates, just make everything dispensable, put the game on Steam as like a standalone, and make everything shardable, increase the rates of shards, so that it's in the grind fest and people would have fun with it. Of course, you would have to wait 10 years for that. Well, 7 now, assuming they even do that. But I could see it happening. I wouldn't put past it. They have been good. And I'm willing to put my faith into them. And my money too. I buy the pass every time I can, but I have to save up like a lot of money to do that. I love the random shit mermaid. I have to wear my headphones because I removed the background noise filter from my microphone And when I do that, every single little noise that happens around me is recorded on my microphone. And these headphones are not good. Allow me to show. I showed it on the previous stream, but it is literally duct taped together. 2 headphones. We have the frame of another one here and the actual headphone under. And they are not comfortable and they are not pretty either. So I keep having to adjust it. Alright, let's go over. Oh, actually, this guy takes more damage from Pierce.
이거 참 설레는구려.
Also, one more thing. Wednesday, when we do our book reading, which we're still doing, I know it's not the most thrilling a subject. What the fuck is this background? Oh yeah, this is the tunnel under Sinclair's home. This is apocalyptic and huge, holy shit. Anyway, we're gonna have to finish Crime and Punishment before Thursday, because our book reading, if we're still gonna continue doing that, and we're gonna read a few more books on stream, but we're gonna dedicate exclusive, like, weekends, it's afternoon, Saturday probably, or Sunday, to read the books. We're gonna do only that in the stream. Gonna read a book into, like, a bunch of chapters in a row instead of the staggered release of a chapter per end of stream, because I realized I was trying to cram far too many things into one episode of the streams, and it didn't quite work out. I have to be more focused. Things have to be focused. If you're not focused, you don't do anything. Alright, let's fight these ugly balls of snot. Sanguine Pointless, strike! Insta-kill! Insta-kill! You read The Stranger after Crime and Punishment, though it's a short and quite positive book. Oh, but we already have read The Stranger here on stream. It was an excellent book. It still makes me angry at the French, though. We have read The Metamorphosis. Actually, confirm here. Hold on. We have read Yisang's books, which was Rirasel. Have read Ryoshu's book, Merso's book, Gregor's book, and we are reading Rodian's book right now. So we're almost halfway done with all the sinners. It's just that Crime Punishment is quite a long one. I am not going to read Honglu's book, bro, because Honglu is a little too long, to put it lightly. It's no doubt it's probably an excellent book. It's just a very long book. Unless I found some, like, condensed version of it, I'm not reading Honglu's book, bro.
이거 참 설레는구려.
I still don't remember why I put rules of the dungeon, because with free reign to select eagles at the beginning and, you know, getting blessing, the dungeon, even for a solo, becomes a little too long. Maybe Divine Comedy or Wuthering Heights? Wuthering Heights is a good option for the next one. I haven't touched that book. I never read it. I know some bullet points from it. So once we're done with Crime and Punishment, which we will finish by this Thursday? No, we will finish it Wednesday. That's the time limit. Even if I have to do, like, more reading in one sitting. We will finish Crime and Punishment this Wednesday, and if I do a book reading this Saturday or Sunday, we will probably start Wuthering Heights. Didn't you guys get staggered? What happened to my ego? What happened to my ego? Did you guys get staggered or what? Oh well. Yes, lower my sanity, see what happens. Honglu's book is amazing. I finished reading a couple of weeks ago. Ooh, impressive. Very nice, Christmas. I know some bullet points about it, about a rock that falls from the sky and wants to be human, or is given the form of a human by a monk. Anyway, I just read some bullet points. I will probably maybe read it someday, but I'll give priority to the other sinners because I'm quite scared of a long Chinese book. Well, series of books, and my headphones are falling again. At this point, I might have just played without them, or put it over here. I pretty much already heard everything that I can play this game. I played so many hours of Limbus. At this point, I can mute it, and I will still hear the sound because I have tinnitus from damn coin flips. Ah, my legs. How many pages we have left on Common Punishment? We're currently on page 429, and it goes up to 467. So, if you don't finish it today or tomorrow, again, time limit, we're going to be done with this by Wednesday. I know most people here just leave when it's time to read the books, but I said I was going to do it, and I was going to do it good. And so, how many hours of Limbus do I have? 2,900. A couple of hours, maybe. Just a few hours, you know, I do a little grinding. The reason why I have so many hours is that often I forget Limbus running on the background, because I say, back before I started streaming, I would go like, okay, gotta work. I have two screens, so put work on the main screen, and then I put it on the other, and I mute the game, I do a mirror dungeon, grind my shards, and the main screen I'm working, and so it takes a little while to realize, oh, the singers have done killing these guys, give them more orders, and back to work. And so I accumulated a lot of hours that are, you know, funny to watch. How about half of that? I'm 1.5k now. Well done. Very nice. I hope you didn't actively play those, because I say I have 2,900 hours, but I didn't... Sorry. Like I mentioned, sometimes I forget the game open in another screen, because I'm doing something else, so I didn't actively play 2,900 hours. I didn't sit for 2,900 hours of my mortal life in front of a computer grinding the mirror dungeon. I was doing it on the side. And I have been playing since release, so it's 3 years to accumulate that time. Still, every time I look at any game that I have too many hours in on Steam, I think, man, I should have done something else with those hours, but I had fun. It was fun. I wouldn't say I regret. I'd say that, what do I say, I don't regret hours that I spent on video games. I have that pang of like, oh, maybe I should have done something else with that time. Oh, how I have wasted my hours on the video games. No, I don't go that way. I don't consider hours on video games wasted, mind you. Video games have always been my hobby. Ever since I was a wee child, I played a lot of video games, and once I had access to a PC, I played a lot more. So, you know, video games have always been with me, and always gonna be with video games. I don't play AAA stuff, of course, because it's fucking stupid. I only play games I like, and I don't go by, oh, the new GTA is coming out, and I've never been a GTA fan. I play the fuck out of San Andreas, of course, because I'm Brazilian, and every single LAN house in this country had San Andreas installed, and it's a great game. That one was actually a great game. But, yeah, I don't play mainstream stuff. I probably should stream Neverwinter Nights. That is a game of my childhood. I'm eager to play it again. I've been playing since Kanto 8 because I finally got enough storage to be able to get it. I've been playing ever since the Time Killing Time Bobcat. Kanto 8, that is Dawn's Kanto, right? No, that's Honglu's Kanto. Damn, then you put in the hours, Christmas. You put in the... you were actively playing it. Incredible. Time Killing Time Bobcat. I don't remember when that came around. I finally got enough storage. You mean on your phone? I don't... It comes back again to me being a millennial. I don't understand playing things on my phone because I hate my phone. Every time I have to do something that requires my phone to scan a funny little code or to access an app because you can't do it on the PC, I get blistering, incandescent rage boiling in my heart. Because I don't want to use my phone, I want to use my computer, my personal computer, which I use for work every day and for video games. I don't want to access your funny little website with my phone. I don't want to scan your QR code. I just send the thing to me, please. But then again, it's just me being a millennial. PC, okay, sorry. Sorry about my rant about phones. I'm still gonna rant about it though, because I hate phones. Hate that everything is being shaped down for phones. Hate it. Yeah, I understand what you mean, Christmas. For some reason, Limbus is a fat game. They don't do optimization very well. They should focus on that once they get the new... What's it called? The new offices, because it's a fat game. It shouldn't be this fat. It's a reasonably simple game. It shouldn't be as fat as it is. Do you see? Do you see these two symbols here, my friends? Do you see gloom and envy weakness? That means it's motherfucking dead rabbits. If you enter this without ego attacks for nuking the entire battlefield in a single go, your solo sinner will die from rupture, extreme rupture. Unless your Blade of the House Spies real, then you're fine. Coming from Merce Kanto is in this August if it all goes well. Yes, kinda, maybe. We still have the rerun of the rerun of the Bokgek. We have the rerun of the Railway Chew first. So we have the rerun of the Bokgek for the Railway Chew, which is I'm not looking forward to it. Or also Valentina Ruder, her auto evade is broken. It's broken, it's good, but she runs out of charge real quickly. Her base evade without the ice roll lower than most evades in the game. It's not particularly great, I'll tell you that much. Ah, damn nation. Very nice, there it is. The dead rabbits, for most of the enemies actually from Wuthering Heights, are extremely dangerous for solo runs because they apply far too many status ailments. Far too many. And they are not weak status ailments either. They are very strong status ailments. A lot of rupture count, a lot of bleed count from the butlers. They are just a pain in the ass to fight. Am I paralyzed again? No, I'm not. Let's focus the sanguine pointless on enemies with lots of status ailment, so we get to do more damage. Go! Stagger heal, nice. Ooh, where was I talking about? Oh yeah, rerun of the railway, and I think that's it. That's all the things there was. No. We have one more thing. In the roadmap, I don't know how far along or it's going to become a reality. During the stream, which we show the roadmap, we talked about a new game mode, an auto battler, which you don't control the sinners directly like we do here. You just kind of put them and they fight on their own. And I don't know how that's going to happen, but it was on the roadmap. So before Mersol's Kanto, there's probably going to be a new game mode. But since we left the what's it called? We left the story, the plot on Mersol getting arrested. I don't know how that will happen because they like to be diegetic with their story and the things that happen in the setting, the gameplay. So I don't know how that would happen, but I know now. I realize now. So, know how Dante got the Malkuth power back in the House of Spiders, where he can summon the sinners at any point in time to fight? This was a lore-friendly way for Dante, and us, by extension, to be able to use any sinner at any moment, regardless of what's happening in the plot. So, let's say, Mersol got arrested, we come back to the bus to discuss what's happening, and a new game mode is on. Now Dante can do this new game mode, but if Mersol is currently arrested, how are we going to get Mersol to participate? We're down one sinner. Easy. Dante uses his Malkuth power to summon the homunculus of Merciless. And there you have it. A lore-friendly way that was added with a broken power for Dante. Broken as in not broken as too powerful, but broken as in incomplete. So Dante can just summon them at any point in time. Yeah, you're not fooling anyone. I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there.
설레는구려.
Alright, Ryoshu. And fucking hell, I evade one Wuthering Height encounter and I go into another one.
점 찍었네. 이 스며들 듯한 비.
Umbrella!
우산이 새진 않았겠소.
There is another overlay I want to do, because right now I just want to get new overlay, play a few more games, but I want to do another overlay where I'm going to put my face at the bottom of the screen, centered, because I want to play some first-person shooters, because I have plenty of those, but I want to have a Doom HUD. It's not going to be a HUD that has the chat, unfortunately, but I want to have a Doom HUD on my stream, and I will have it. I will have it. I just have to announce I'll use my first overlay first, and then I will consider that. Stop being annoying, you damn maids! My paralysis! You damn stupid maid, you made me paralyzed!
점 찍었네.
This isn't the butlers. The butlers apply a shit ton of bleed. These don't just paralyze you to hell and back.
점 찍었네.
He's saying, please use the skill that goes first. He's saying, please use the skill that goes first. He's saying, please use the skill that goes first. I remember that just because it is first on the dashboard does not mean it's going to be the first one to clash. That's using the magical arrow. Check this always. It's this here, the order with these line up is the order where things are going to happen. I am fairly sure. I'm not sure about that when it comes to unfocused encounters because I hate them. See? You like having tree paralyzed, don't you? Now give back my health, please and thank you. Please and thank you.
점 찍었네. 합격장.
Like any ID that is single coin, we are very much at the whims of RNGesus when it comes to, you know, getting our full power, because you do a 5% funny and then you just lose the clash and you're screwed. Pointless E-Sync evades the trap that single coin skills have of not doing enough damage, at least the older ones, by having the coin reused. As we have seen previously on one of my streams where we did a G-Quad Ultis solo run, following rules of the dungeon, which we're gonna use again, she doesn't do enough damage. Even though she has amazing self-buffs, she literally does not do enough damage. She is a support character, true and true. Yiseng, however, has big boy damage on that skill true because of the reuses. This is worthless, so throw it in the trash. I guess it's fuel for the Eagle Furnace. And we go over here. Insignificant envy. It's the thing. It's the fucking centipede that I hate. I just ate though. Why am I hungry? Let me replace that skill with this. There we go. And let's see. Plume of Proof. It's just bind on Pierce attack. That's kind of worthless. Toward Hems, that's actually useful. Let's try and fuse for the tier 4 Pierce to give us good power. Actually, we could do something even better. We have Piece of Relationship. Why isn't it not upgraded? Then we go here for Pierce. We take all this useless shit that we can't use, such as the shoes, this and this, and we throw in this for good measure. No, that one is actually pretty good. What is useless would be this, kind of. This, maybe? It's useful, not useless. It's just not high on the priority list. Throw in this. There we go. Puncture. That also works. I'll take that. Right. Lust and Gluttony. What's weak against Lust and Gluttony? I don't remember. But we're gonna find out. We do have Lust, but we don't have the Gluttony. Again, the dog's barking is on me. Oh, it's the guy. It's the guy from Daddy's Home. We don't have the funny coin reuse, though. What is the dog's barking at? I'm gonna turn on background noise for a second. There we go. If my voice sounds different, it's because I'm filtering some sound effects. So you don't hear the dogs barking on the background. No, Daddy's home. See, you saying pointless is still very powerful in Strange. He's a strange little character. I wonder what the next mirror is going to offer us, because with the new game mode they said they're going to make, it's... That's the problem I'm having. I'm always having this problem. I play a difficult content on the game, like the Reflect Trials and the Railway, and I want more because I finish it and I'm thirsty for more, but there is no more. And you see Daddy's home. Jesus Christ. It deals so much damage. Oh, nice. Phew. More damage, I suppose. Give me the offense levels. Not give me my ops, clash power, or base power. No, no, no. And final one. I'm not going in here. Are you crazy? I'm not stupid. Here's also death. I'm not following the rules of the dungeon anymore. I get to do whatever I want. I get to reroll as much as I want. Pierce damage. Who's gonna be here? What was I talking about? I completely lost track of what I was talking about. It probably wasn't important. Anyway, eager for the next few days. Very anxious, very happy. I don't want to play some Monster Hunter. But please, these next 3 days, I'm gonna hold back myself. I'm only playing my daily Limbus like props. 100, and we are unshackled, unleashed, and ego manifested. That's true. That is true. Normally, aren't the ID skill tree meant to be the most powerful ones with condition? That's usually yes. Usually. This is ID where that is not the case, as you can clearly see. Come on. And you see that it is home. I want to extend this dungeon a little bit, but it's already been 2 hours. We gotta get to our book reading soon. Here we go again. Why do we have so much rupture? Holy shit, why do we have so much rupture? Oh no! Limbus Company whale guys, chill with a rupture, man. Damn, I got a booty blasted. Dogs have stopped barking. I can remove the background noise reduction. To make a tug of war. The thing is, I talk about the background noise reductions. The thing that I can turn on is that if I have it turned on, it doesn't register all the sounds. Especially if I try to cough or make some funny noise on purpose, you know. Here we go. We're gonna do Sun Shower one more time because I have the ego resources to use it, and I will. It's not, again, not very thrilling to use it, but for a solo round, that's fine. Always feels like a machine gun using that attack. Alright, 295 HP. Goodbye. Goodbye. Ah, if you only had the funny coin. If only we had the funny coin. It's rolling at 31. From full health to full dead, but they're vulnerable to pierce, so. Tremor Burst. Rare enemies that can use Tremor Burst. Yep, he's still broken as hell. As soon as you get some ego gifts to fuel his mania, he's still broken as hell with that skill too. Let's see over here. This is an unfocused encounter. That means I get some degree of control over my sinner and the flow of battle. Oh, it's Sloth Picatulus. Sloth Picatulus. We are weak to blinds. And this attack hits harder. Alright, time to die. Ah, it's so funny when it happens, man. Look at that. What is there to say? Go, and here we go. 2 extra damage to that. Daddy's home. I don't know that song, I just hum it because of the meme. And that's why I use that particular image in our thumbnail of the day. Kill him! I'm not gonna think about it, just kill him! This idea would be perfectly broken if it had an evade, man. It's a shame it doesn't. Because it would be so much fun if it had the ability to evade. But it unfortunately does not. Hey, free level up. Nope. Not actually free. Not actually free.
젠장 태웠어.
Let's go over here. Focus encounters are better. Simply better. I love focus encounters because I get to control the battle rather than watch a big old brawl. Big old brawl is cool to a degree.
점 찍었네.
Only if I have, you know, full team.
비뚤어졌구려.
Alright, you said. Continue your unholy work of being an artist in the
점
city.
찍었네.
In the city that we love to live in. Though usually I smoke a cigar on Wednesdays, I'm gonna save it for Thursday. It's gonna give me luck on that Walpurgis roll.
점 찍었네.
When we were thinking Hung Lu has more luck, yeah.
완성되었나.
I kind of tend to naturally go for Ting Tang Hong Lu whenever a skill check comes up and it's like a 50-50 because I didn't level up his didn't cultivate his sanity.
점 찍었네. 이제야 완성되었나. 이제야 완성되었나.
Big old
합격점.
stab. Alright, hit the damage button. Give him 2 colors.
점 찍었네.
Goodbye.
완성되었나. 이제야 완성되었나.
My dogs are getting rowdy for some reason. Probably should check outside soon. Hey, we got a new subscriber. Thank you so much, whoever you are. We're almost at the end of the dungeon. Give me. I don't. Give me the trimmer gift. Let's finish this and get to our book reading. Try to get this book done. After all, it's been a while. Rusted Muzzle, nice. Torn Bandolier, that's Clash Power, baby. And Nebulizer, because that's a little bit of critical. And then we'll select our Yi Sang. My mood is coming back to me now that we're, you know, having a good time. I don't need this. If your ID is broken, it doesn't need anything else. As long as you can get past that initial funk at the beginning, it's fine, it's good, it's great. Also, yeah, I made a reaction video for the Walpurgis, and I realized there is a way you can make a wrong reaction video. It's exactly what I did. My audio mixing was atrocious. And I also keep talking over the video itself. Should I keep my mouth shut or the volume subdued? And so, yes, you can, in fact, do a reaction video wrong, and I did. But I am learning from that experience. There is a reason why I don't remove any of the strings that I consider them the weakest or the worst strings I've did, because they exist as a monument to my failure. This I say with no negative connotations at all. Yes, it is a monument to my failure, but by being a monument to my failure, it exists to help remind me that I can do better. And I have been doing better, slowly. But surely, I've been improving in my streaming business here. My foul deed of streaming. This cardinal sin that I've committed of making a reaction video as well. But it exists for me to remind myself that I will improve. Do so. Hopefully offer all of you, my dearest viewers, a better content. Better stuff. Something that is good to watch. Maybe one day I'll do reviews of games. I just haven't got my ass to sit down and actually record, write the script, and I'll do all those things. Yeah. And this is turning into a Rebel session because I have nothing to tell you, nothing to talk about. It's Limbus Company. We've been playing this for 100 days now in a row, and we did several runs, challenging or not, to it. So there's literally nothing else to talk about this game. Unless there's new content. In any case, Pointless Ring is saying, dungeon complete, but not following the rules of the dungeon, which I apologize. So, you know, it's what it's level 1000. That's cool. Kinju dropped the kit for the Walpurgis IDs and Eagles, and the IDs are indeed the burn tremor inflictors. Yes, I saw, and I'm surprised they're not charged. I'm really in. Surprised they are not charged IDs. I thought for sure there would be charged IDs, but they are not. Color me surprised. But don't color me too hard, or else these things are gonna have a damage bonus on me. In any case, like I mentioned before, this is the time where most of you will likely leave, because now we are going to do some book reading. We're going to continue reading Crime and Punishment. I'm going to put it over here. It's already open. I am going to go, however, get myself some water. So I'll be right back. If you're leaving right now because there's no more Limbus gameplay, of course, if you came here for Limbus gameplay, the time to leave is now. Please consider leaving a like, a comment, a subscribe, and all that good stuff. I'm gonna go get myself some water, and I will be right back. Don't do anything I wouldn't do while I'm away. Oh, yes. Water has been acquired. It was a brief delay. The kitchen is right over there. I can just walk over and get a bottle of water that I left prepared. For now, let us remember what has happened since last time on Crime and Punishment. It has been a while. So, Raskolnikov's sister knows that Raskolnikov killed the old moneylender. Lucy, not Lucy. Svidrigailov knew before Svidrigailov decided to traumatize a random person in the street by killing himself in front of them. Sonia knows about it, and they are all pretty much gathered to, you know, when you're gonna confess, Raskolnikov, you killed her, you gotta go confess, buddy. And I think this is the part where they are gonna confess. I'm gonna mute Limbus for now, because now we're just gonna do the book reading. Right, here we go. There's not much to recap here. This is the end of the book, so. Let's go. Chapter 8. When he entered Sonia's room, it was already getting dark. All day, Sonia had been waiting for him in terrible anxiety. Dunya had been waiting with her. She had come to her that morning, remembering the words of Svidrigailov, which Sonia knew. We will not describe the conversation and the tears of the two girls, and how friendly they became. Dunya gained one comfort at least from that interview, and her brother would not be alone. He had gone to her, Sonia, first with his confession, and had gone to her for human companionship when he needed it. She would go with him wherever fate might send him. Dunya did not ask, but she knew it was true. She looked at Sonia almost with reverence, and at first almost embarrassed her by it. Sonia was almost on the point of tears. She felt herself, on the contrary, hardly worthy to look at Dunya. Dunya's gracious image, when she had bowed to her so attentively and respectfully at their first meeting in Raskolnikov's room, had remained in her mind as one of the most beautiful visions of her life. Dunya at last became impatient and, leaving Sonia, went to her brother's room to wait for him there. She kept thinking that he would come there first. When she had gone, Sonia began to be tortured by her dread that he would commit suicide, and Dunya feared it too. But they had spent the day trying to persuade each other that that could not happen. And both were less anxious while they were together. As soon as they parted, each thought of nothing else. Sonia remembered how Svidrigailov had said to her the day before that Raskolnikov had two alternatives, Siberia or... it's here. Besides, she knew his vanity, his pride, and his lack of faith. Is it possible he has nothing but cowardice and fear of death to make him live? She thought at last in despair. Meanwhile, the sun was setting. Sonia was standing in dejection, looking intently out the window. but from it she could see nothing but the one whitewashed blank wall of the next house. At last, when she began to feel sure that he was dead, he walked into the room. She gave a cry of joy, but looking carefully into his face, she turned pale. Yes, said Raskolnikov, smiling. I have come for your cross, Sonia. It was you who told me to go to the crossroads. Why is it that you're frightened now? It's come to that. Sonia gazed at him astonished. His tone seemed strange to her. A cold shiver ran over her, but in a moment she guessed that the tone and the words were a mask. He spoke to her looking away, as though to avoid meeting her eyes. You see, Sonia, I've decided that it would be better so. There is one fact, but it's a long story and there's no need to discuss it. But do you know what angers me? It annoys me that all those stupid, brutish faces will be gaping at me directly, pestering me with their stupid questions, which I shall have to answer. They'll point fingers at me. Pah! You know, I'm not going to Porphyry. I'm sick of him. I'd rather go to my friend, the explosive lieutenant. How I shall surprise him. What a sensation I shall make. But I must be cooler. I've become too irritable recently. You know, I was nearly shaking my fist at my sister just now because she turned to take a last look at me. It's a brutal state to be in. Ah, what am I coming to? Well, where's the cross? He seemed hardly to know what he was doing. He could not stay still or concentrate on anything. His ideas seemed to gallop after one another. He talked incoherently. His hands trembled slightly. Without a word, Sonia took out of the drawer 2 crosses, one of cypress wood and one of copper. She made the sign of the cross over herself and over him, and put the wooden cross on his neck. It's the symbol of my taking up the cross, he laughed, as though I had not suffered much until now. The wooden cross, that is the peasant one. The copper one, that is Lizaveta's. You will wear it yourself. Show me. So she had it on at that moment. I remember 2 things like these 2, a silver one and a little icon. I threw them back on the old woman's neck. Those would be appropriate now, really. Those are what I ought to put on now. But I'm talking nonsense and forgetting what matters. I'm forgetful somehow. You see, I have come to warn you, Sonia, so you might know. That's all I came for. But I thought I had more to say. You wanted me to go yourself? Well, now I'm going to prison, and you have your wish. Well, what are you crying for? You too? Don't. Leave off. Oh, I hate it all. But his feeling was stirred. His heart ached as he looked at her. Why is she grieving too? He thought to himself. What am I to her? Why does she weep? Why is she looking at me? Why is she looking after me like my mother or Dunya? She'll be my nurse. Cross yourself and say at least one prayer, Sonia begged in a timid, broken voice. Oh, certainly, as much as you like. And sincerely, Sonia, sincerely. But he wanted to say something quite different. He crossed himself several times. Sonia took up her shawl and put it over her head. It was the green drap-de-dames shawl which Marmeladov had talked about. The family shawl. Raskolnikov thought of that looking at it, but he did not ask. He began to feel himself that he was certainly forgetting things and was disgustingly agitated. He was frightened at this. He was suddenly struck too by the thought that Sonia intended to go with him. What are you doing? Where are you going? Stay here. Stay or I'll go alone. He cried in cowardly vexation, and almost resentful he moved towards the door. What's the use of going in procession? He muttered, going out. Sonia remained standing in the middle of the room. He had not even said goodbye to her. He had forgotten her. A poignant and rebellious doubt surged at his heart. Was it right? Was it right, all this? He thought again as he went down the stairs. Couldn't he stop and retract it all and not go? But still he went. He felt suddenly once for all that he mustn't ask himself questions. As he turned into the street, he remembered that he had not said goodbye to Sonia, that he had left her in the middle of the room in her green shawl, not daring to stir after he had shouted at her, and he stopped short for a moment. At the same instant another thought dawned upon him, as though it had been lying in wait to strike him then. Why, with what object did I go to her just now? I told her on business. On what business? I had no sort of business to tell her I was going, but where was the need? Do I love her? No, no, I drove her away just like a dog. Did I want her crosses? How low I have sunk. No, I wanted her tears. I wanted to see her terror, to see how her heart ached. I had to have something to cling to, something to delay me, some friendly face to see. And I dared to believe in myself, to dream of what I would do. I'm a beggarly, contemptible wretch. Contemptible! He walked along the canal bank. He had not much further to go, but on reaching the bridge he stopped, and turning out of his long way along it went to the Haymarket. He looked eagerly to the right and left, gazed intently at every object, and could not fix his attention on anything. Everything slipped away. In another week, another month, I shall be driven in a prison van over this bridge. How shall I look at the canal then? I should like to remember this, slipped into his mind. Look at the sign. How shall I read those letters then? It's written here, Company. That's a thing to remember, that letter A, and to look at it again in a month. How shall I look at it then? What shall I be feeling and thinking then? How trivial all of this must be. What am I worrying about now? Of course, it all must be interesting, its way. What am I thinking about? I am becoming a baby, ushering off to myself. Why am I ashamed? How people shove. A fat man, a German, he must be who pushed me against me. Does he know what he pushed? That's a peasant woman with a baby, begging. It's curious that she thinks I'm happier than she is. I might give her something, if only because it be so out of place. Here's a 5-kopeck piece left in my pocket. Where did I get it? Here, take it, my dear. God bless you, the beggar chanted in a tearful voice. He went into the Haymarket. It was distasteful, very distasteful to be in a crowd, but he walked just where he saw the most people. He would have given anything in the world to be alone, but he knew himself that he would not have remained alone for a moment. There was a man drunk and disorderly in the crowd. He kept trying to dance and falling down. There was a ring around him. Raskolnikov squeezed his way through the crowd, stared for some minutes, and the drunken man suddenly gave a short, jerky laugh. A minute later he had forgotten and did not see him, though he still stared. He moved away at last, not remembering where he was, but when he got into the middle of the square, an emotion suddenly came over him, overwhelming him body and mind. He suddenly recalled Sonia's words. Go to the crossroads, bow down to the people, kiss the earth, for you have sinned against it too, and say aloud to the whole world, I am a murderer. He trembled, remembering that, and the hopeless misery and anxiety of all that time, especially of the last few hours, had weighed so heavily upon him that he clutched passionately at the chance of this new, unmixed, complete sensation. It came over him like a fit. It was like a single spark kindled in his soul and spreading fire through him. Everything in him softened at once, and the tears started into his eyes. He fell to the earth on the spot. He knelt down in the middle of the square, bowed down to the earth, and kissed that filthy earth with bliss and rapture. He got up and bowed a second time. Oh, he's smashed, a youth near him observed. There was a roar of laughter. Oh, he's going to Jerusalem, brothers. He's saying goodbye to his children and his country. He's bowing down to the whole world and kissing the great city of St. Petersburg and its pavement, added the workman, who was a little drunk. Quite a young man, too, observed the third. And a gentleman, someone observed soberly. There's no knowing who's a gentleman and who isn't nowadays. These exclamations and remarks checked Raskolnikov, and the words, I am a murderer, which were perhaps on the point of dropping from his lips, died away. He bore his remarks quietly, however, and without looking around, he turned down a street leading to the police office. He had a glimpse of something on the way which did not surprise him, and felt that it must be so. The second time he bowed down into the Haymarket, he saw Sonia standing 50 paces from him on the left. She was hiding from him behind one of the wooden shanties in the marketplace. She had followed him then on his painful way. Raskolnikov at that moment felt and knew once for all that Sonia was with him forever, and would follow him to the ends of the earth, wherever fate might take him. It wrung his heart, but he was just reaching the fatal place. He went into the yard fairly resolutely. He had to go up to the 3rd floor. I shall be sometime going up, he thought. He felt as though the fateful moment was still far away, as though he had plenty of time left for consideration. Again, the same rubbish, the same eggshells lying about on the spiral staircase. Again, the open doors of the apartments. Again, the same kitchens and the same furnaces. Same fumes and stench coming from them. Raskolnikov had not been here since that day. His legs were numb and gave way under him, but still they moved forward. He stopped for a moment to take a breath, to recollect himself, in order to go in like a man. But why? What for? He wondered, reflecting. If I must drink the cup, of what difference does it make? The more revolting, the better. He imagined for an instant the figure of the explosive lieutenant, like Ilya Petrovich. Was he actually going to him? Couldn't he go to someone else, to Nikodim Fomitch? Couldn't he turn back and go straight to Nikodim Fomitch's rooms? At least then it would be done privately. No. To the explosive lieutenant. If he must drink it off at once. Turning cold and hardly conscious, he opened the door to the office. There were very few people in it this time, just a house porter and a peasant. The doorkeeper did not even peep out from behind his screen. Raskolnikov walked into the next room. Perhaps even now I don't have to speak, passed through his mind. Some sort of clerk who was not in uniform was settling himself at the bureau to write. In a corner, another clerk was seating himself. Zametov wasn't there, nor, of course, Nikodim Fomitch. No one in? Raskolnikov asked, addressing the person at the bureau. Oh, who do you want? Aha! Not a sound was heard, not a sight was seen, but I sensed the Russian. Sorry, that's someone else talking. Aha! Not a sound was heard, not a sight was seen, but I sensed the Russian. How does it go in the fairy tale? I've forgotten. At your service. A familiar voice cried suddenly. Raskolnikov shuddered. The explosive lieutenant stood before him. He had just come in from the third room. It's the hand of fate, thought Raskolnikov. Why is he here? You've come to see us. What about? Cried Ilya Petrovich. He was obviously in an extremely good mood and perhaps a little exhilarated. If it's on business, you're rather early. I'm only here by chance. However, I'll do what I can. I must admit, Well, what is it? Excuse me. Raskolnikov. Of course, Raskolnikov. You didn't imagine I've forgotten. Don't think I'm like that Rodionovich. That's it, isn't it? Rodion Romanovich. Yes, Rodion Romanovich. I was just getting at it. I made many inquiries about you. I assure you've been generally grieved since I behaved like that. It was explained to me afterwards that you were a literary man, and a learned one too. And so to say the first steps... Oh, mercy on us. What literary or scientific man does not begin his career with some originality of conduct? My wife and I have the greatest respect for literature. In my wife's, it's a genuine passion. Literature and art. If only a man is a gentleman, all the rest can be gained by talents, learning, good sense, genius. As for a hat, well, what does a hat matter? I can buy a hat as easily as I can a bum. But what's under the hat? What the hat covers? I can't buy that. I was even meaning to come and apologize to you, but though maybe you'd... but I am forgetting to ask you, is there anything you want, really? I hear your family have come? Yes, my mother and sister. I've even had the honor and happiness of meeting your sister, a highly cultivated and charming person. I confess I was sorry I got so hot and bothered with you. There it is. But as for my looking suspiciously at your fainting fit, that's been cleared up splendidly. Bigotry and fanaticism. I understand your indignation. Perhaps you're changing your lodging because your family's arrived? No, I only looked in. I came to ask. I thought that I might find Zametov here. Oh, yes, of course, you made friends, I heard. Well, no, Zametov is not here. Yes, we've lost Zametov, but his not being here since yesterday. He quarreled with everyone when he left, in the rudest way. He's a feather-headed youngster, that's all. You might have expected something from him, but there, you know what they are, a brilliant young man. He wanted to go in some examination, but only to talk and boast about it. It'll go no further than that. Of course, it's a very different matter with you or Mr. Razumikin there, your friend. Your career is an intellectual one, and you won't be deterred by failure. For you, one might say, all the attractions of life nihil est. You're an ascetic, a monk, a hermit. A book, a pen behind your ear, a learned researcher. That's where your spirit soars. I am the same way myself. Have you read Livingstone's travels? No. Oh, I have. There are a great many nihilists about nowadays, you know, though it's nothing to be surprised at. What sort of days are they, I ask you? But we thought, you're not a nihilist, of course. Answer me openly. No. Believe me, you can speak as openly to me as you would to yourself. Official duty is one thing, but you were thinking I meant to say friendship is quite another. No, you're wrong. It's not friendship. but the feeling of a man and a citizen, the feeling of humanity and of love for the Almighty. I may be unofficial, but I am always bound to feel myself a man and a citizen. You were asking about Zametov. Zametov will make a scandal in the French style in a house of bad reputation over a glass of champagne. That's all your Zametov is good for. While I'm, perhaps, so to speak, burning with devotion and lofty feelings. And besides, I have a rank, consequence, a post. I am married and have children. I fulfill the duties of a man and a citizen. But who is he, may I ask? I appeal to you as a man and led by education. Then these midwives, too, have become extraordinarily numerous. Raskolnikov raised his eyebrows inquiringly. The words of Ilya Petrovich, who had obviously just been out for dinner, were for the most part a string of empty sounds for him. But some of them he understood. He looked at him inquiringly, not knowing how it would end. I mean, those crop-headed wretches, the talkative Ilya Petrovich continued. Midwives is my name for them. I think it's a very satisfactory one. They go to the academy, study anatomy, and if I fall ill, should I send for a young lady to treat me? What do you say? Ilya Petrovich laughed, quite pleased with his own wit. It's a ravenous passion for education, but once you're educated, that's enough. Why abuse it? Why insult honorable people like that scoundrel Zametov does? Why did he insult me, I ask you? Look at these suicides, too. How common they are. You can't imagine. People spend their last kopeck and kill themselves. Boys and girls and old people. Only this morning we heard about a gentleman who had just come into town. Nil Pavlich, I say, was the name of that man who shot himself? Svidrigailov, someone answered from the other room with drowsy listlessness. Raskolnikov started. Svidrigailov? Svidrigailov has shot himself? He cried. What, do you know Svidrigailov? Yes, I knew him. He had been here for long. Yes, that's true. He had lost his wife, was a man of reckless habits, and all of a sudden he shot himself, and in such a shocking way. He left in his notebook a few words, that he died in full possession of his faculties, and that no one is to blame for his death. He had money, they said. How did you come know him? I was acquainted. My sister was a governess in his family. Ah, then no doubt you can tell something about him. You had no suspicion? I saw him yesterday. He was drinking wine. I knew nothing. Raskolnikov felt as though something had fallen on him and was stifling him. You've turned pale again. It's so stuffy in here. Yes, I must go, muttered Raskolnikov. Excuse me for troubling you. Oh, not at all. As often as you like. It's a pleasure to see you, and I am glad to say so. Ilya Petrovich held out his hands. I came to see Zametov. I understand. It's a pleasure to see you. I am very glad. Goodbye. All right, bye. Raskolnikov smiled. He went out. He reeled. He was overcome with dizziness and did not know what he was doing. He began going down the stairs, supporting himself with his right hand against the wall. He fancied that a porter pushed past him on his way upstairs to the police office. Then a dog in the lower floor kept a shrill barking, and that woman flung a rolling pin at it and shouted. He went down and out into the yard. There, not far from the entrance, stood Sonia, pale and horror-stricken. She looked wildly at him. He stopped still before her. There was a look of poignant agony, of despair in her face. She clasped her hands. His lips were contorted into an ugly, meaningless smile. He stood still a minute and grinned and went back to the police office. The thumbnail is frying you, Vesuvius. I'm glad you like it. Ilya Petrovich had sat down and was rummaging on some papers. Before him stood the same peasant who had pushed by on the stairs. Oh, hello, back again? Have you left something behind? What's the matter? Raskolnikov, with white lips and staring eyes, came slowly nearer. He walked right up to the table, leaned his hand on it, tried to say something, but could not. Only incoherent sounds were audible. Oh, you're feeling ill. A chair. Here, sit down. Some water. Raskolnikov dropped into a chair, but he kept his eyes fixed on the face of Ilya Petrovich. I'm doing quite well, Vesuvius. We're about the tail end of the stream, but doing quite well. Both looked at one another for a minute and waited. Water was brought. It was I, began Raskolnikov. Drink some water. Raskolnikov refused the water with his hands and softly and brokenly, but distinctively said, It was I who killed the old pawnbroker woman and her sister Lizaveta with an axe and robbed them. Ilya Petrovich opened his mouth. People ran up on all sides. Raskolnikov repeated his statement. Oh, we're at the epilogue. Okay, whoops. We're gonna finish this tomorrow, but yeah. Finally, took so much faffing around for Raskolnikov to actually confess, but here we are. And again, I might consider doing a replay of Canto 2, just to see how, you know, as I talked earlier today, Canto 2 has a function, despite being the weakest canto. It is to get ourselves acquainted with these lovable goofs that we call sinners. The music back on. So yeah, again, sad disservice for the character of Rhodia, but still, it is what it is. It's a lot of stuff to adapt from this book. In any case, Hiveless Studios, once again, sorry if you kind of caught the string at the end here. Hope you're doing well as well, but that is it for today. We have done our ID study for Pointless Isang. We have done our mirror dungeon, even though we're ditching the rules of the dungeon. We're no longer using that. No more. Because it's the last few daily streams before with the new overlay and the new way you're going to conduct the channel here. So no more rules of the dungeon, just normal mirror dungeons for tomorrow and the day after. And then we're going to finish our book, and then finally Walpurgis, baby! Walpurgis Night is running around the corner! Yes, it's time to use my horde of lunacy. In any case, that is all for today. We did the book reading, we did the mirror dungeon, and we did the ID study. So, if you enjoyed the stream, please recommend it to your friends. But if you didn't, recommend it to your enemies. If you wish to give the channel some support, please consider leaving a like, a comment, or a subscribe. Follow on Twitch or follow on Twitter as well. That also helps. We have reached 140 subscribers. We are getting our way forward. We're progressing. We're getting better. Once we hit 200 subscribers, I shall make a Discord server so that we all can hang out together and I can announce my streams there too. In any case, thank you all so much for being here today. Sweet kisses and goodbye. Bye bye.